ride the Kawasaki Z900RS. Okay, look at that cool startup sequence. It's gold and black two-tone. It's in neutral. Let's see if it'll start without the clutch. Yes, it does. Okay, so if it's not like the Triumph bikes where you always have to squeeze the clutch. So here we're warming it up. So we'll go over to controls real quick since we're not going anywhere. So I'll tell you, let's get the size out of the way. So this is I'm 5'10", 175 pounds, and I'm on the balls of my feet. Not tippy toe, but at the balls of my feet. So it's a pretty big bike. I don't know if you can lower the seat or not. Maybe you could. This is a inline 4, 900cc. Well, it's actually like a 949, so it's like a 950. And yeah, so those are the kind of like dimensions of the bike. So I think if you're shorter than me, you're gonna have some trouble riding this bike, unless there's a way to lower it. I don't know if it's lowered right now, but yeah. So as it sits right now, I'm on my tippy toes. It feels like a big bike. It's wide and it's a naked bike. So let's go over to gauge cluster. Get your speedometer on the left and tachometer on the right. Tachometer goes up to 10,000 RPM red line to 12. The red line goes up to 12. And speedometer 0 to 150. It's got some Christmas lights on the bottom. Very, it's very Spartan. But in the middle, you got digital gauge cluster. So on the left and the right, you got your fuel and your coolant. It's like depicted as like a bar graph. And then you got a KTRC. I'm not really sure what that is. I think that's traction control. So there's a traction control. It's Kawasaki traction something. I'll put a subtitle below what that acronym means. I think that's traction control. There's a gear indicator in the center and a clock. And then on the bottom it says your range. So I guess you can change the info. Ooh, man, it's very smooth. So what I've heard, this engine and the throttle is very smooth on this guy. So just to kind of take it for a ride around the thing here. So we're just going to do some quick Gymkhana action here. The clutch is very grabby, sort of. And it feels like it's hard to turn. Alright, so I kind of got a good feel for the bike. It's a pretty big bike. I'm going to be riding behind the Zero here. The only difference from like a standard motorcycle controls that's different with this bike is there's a selector switch. There's kind of like a switch that goes up. There's up and down, and there's select. So, and that cycles through a menu on the bottom. So we got range. Temperature, I guess the temperature is outside, it's 58 degrees. 463 miles on the odometer. There's a trip meter, 2 trip meters, AB, current miles per gallon, average miles per gallon. So let's put it on miles per gallon. I wish there was a speedometer, like a digital speedometer, so it would be nice to have both, an analog one and a digital one, but they don't got that. So I'm riding the root beer colored, that's why I hear it called, it's a root beer colored bike, the Z900RS. It's called candy tone brown and orange or something. They do sell it in black for this year also. It has adjustable clutch and brake levers. It's got the nice, I love the Kawasaki turn signal indicator switch. Works good. Simple bike, just like my old. I used to have a Zephyr 550, just like this, except it was smaller. I also have a 2000 Kawasaki ZR7, and that's basically the same bike as this, same size and everything. So this is Kawasaki's modern rendition of the Z900 or Z1, I think. What they called it. It's very similar to like the KZs and the Zephyrs and all that. So Kawasaki's getting back into the, you know, retro modern bike. So we're gonna go take it for a spin. Should be fun. The clutch is very light. It's pretty cool. It's a cable clutch too. It's interesting. It is so light for such a big bike, you know. So it has I heard it has an assisted clutch and slipper clutch, so it should be pretty easy to shift. Here we go. It's so smooth and it's so it feels so comfortable. So this is the first time I've ridden with SF Moto on a demo ride. It has a spectacular engine sound, dude. It kind of sounds like a triple, but not. It's got a pretty smooth throttle. Yeah, it does. It's kind of got a little on-off, kind of, you know, start, stop and go kind of thing, but you know, if you're careful with the throttle, it's better than most, I'll tell you that. Most fuel injected bikes. I'm just driving around. They said they're going to do a lot of some slow, medium, and fast riding on the freeway, so hopefully it's a good demo ride. Uh-oh. It's like we gotta wait here. I don't know how to put the... Oh, there's a hazard button. So there's a hazard button on the very bottom. This little roundabout here. So if you guys don't know, riding in San Francisco is very bumpy. The roads here suck really bad. So we'll get to test the ride quality out. It's classified as a standard or a naked bike. Get some get up and go, man. Engines. It's got some cojones. Everything is so light. The throttle and the clutch. It's very comfortable to ride too. So like I said, I'm 5'10", 175 pounds, and my arms are out all the way, so it fits me really good, man. So yeah, so HadesOmega is going to take the Z900RS. I've always wanted to ride one of these. I actually wanted to ride the Z900 first, but they didn't have one, so it's very easy to ride slow. Except, yeah, when I tried to turn it around, do the U-turns and stuff, it is a big bike. It's hard to turn, dude. Just like my CR7. It doesn't feel heavy when you're rolling, that's for sure. Definitely has enough power to get up and go. So, HadesOmega is going to take this bike around for a demo ride around the city, San Francisco, and I'll give you my honest opinion about it. But I'll tell you right now, I really like it. It's a bit pricey. It's somewhere in the like 10 to 11,000. I'll put the MSRP on a subtitle below, and yeah, it's a little pricey for you could get like the Z900 is cheaper, But it has the same engine as the Z900, basically. It's basically a Z900 with a kind of retro kind of look to it. It's a standard. Brakes work good. Without the clutch. I just shifted without the clutch. It didn't feel too bad. Man, the engine sounds spectacular on this thing, man. Like, I love the sound of the inline four, And it's so smooth since it's an inline four. There's like no vibration at all. That's what I love about these fours. Oh man, it just got a lot of power, a lot of torque, dude. I just gave it a little blip there and it just took off, dude. This is a spectacular bike to ride, man. It fits me pretty good. It fits me great. Like I said, it's a little wide because it's got that 4-cylinder. That's the way all these, you know, old Kawasaki standards feel like, you know. But it should be much lighter than the original bike, you know. It's been a while, so this is like probably the most modern Kawasaki I've ever ridden. I don't get to ride Kawasaki's very often. He just darts off the light. I like it. Following him is fun. We're just taking a little cruise through SF here. It's such a light throttle. I only need to do 3 fingers on it. I'm doing the 3 fingers and the 2 fingers on the brake. It's got that naked bike feeling, kind of like you can't see like you can't see the bike underneath you, you know. And you got to do a good look to get to the gauges. I like it. I like it a lot. I don't know how to mess around with that KTRC, the traction control. I'm not gonna mess with it, but it's, you know, I'm just letting you guys know it's there and you can adjust it. You know, if you want to get some slippity slido in, then you can do it. It's a demo bike. I don't want to mess it up. Let's put it in 4th gear, fifth gear. It still goes in 5th gear, man. 3000. It's got 6 gears. It still goes in 6th gear. There we go. On the freeway. And do it. Yeehaw! EX10 just passed me. So we get a chance to ride on the freeway pretty good. There's no problem cruising in 6 at 70 miles an hour. Doing less than 5,000 RPM. Just humming right along. It is a naked bike, you know. I'm getting hit by the wind pretty good. So what I like to do on these naked bikes at speed is drive up to 90. Man. So what I like to do at speed on the freeway on these naked bikes is kind of just, you can just lean forward, you know, and that takes the weight off it, you know, you don't have to hold your back, you know, you kind of just lean into the wind. It's kind of like an air cushion, you know, and you kind of lose that if you get a windscreen, you don't have to do that. But obviously, yeah, it's cold. In San Francisco and it's cold here, it's like 50 something degrees right now. Alright, now we get to do some ride on the San Francisco hills. There we go. Let's see how it is riding up on these hills. Seems like the group that I'm in is very experienced riders. I'm having a good time. Some cornering action here. It's very comfortable cornering. I haven't been able to do much cornering, but it feels good. I like it, man. It's got plenty of power on the freeway, I'll tell you that, man. This doesn't feel stressed out at all. Ride it all day long. The gauge cluster is good. It is not super sunny today, though, so I can't see if it's, you know, really... Actually, it changes color. It changed kind of like to like a blue and like white sort of digits. looks like we're going to stop right here. Alright, HadesOmega here. We're taking a little break here to see if everybody's comfortable. We are. This is a pretty comprehensive demo ride. Riding in San Francisco is one of the hardest things because of the hills and the bad roads and the traffic and the bad drivers. So it's actually, you know, riding in SF is a challenge. It's more so on a big bike too. So this one's pretty big. So I don't think we're going to get to do any lane splitting. Alright, let's see how it is taking off from the hill. Hopefully he waited for us. Okay, there he is. Alright, here we go. Nice cornering. The chassis feels very stiff. Very stiff, you know. Like I can feel it. I can feel it well, you know. It doesn't mean it's like, you know, a really harsh ride at all, but you know. I feel like it's got a very good chassis frame. Alright, here we go. We're gonna hit the freeway. Whoop. Come on, Ninja 400, you can do it. Squeeze it. Oh, wow, it just went over those potholes? Man, I barely didn't feel it. He's got those big tires, you know. Very good ride, man, I'm telling you. It's a great riding bike, man. So, yeah, I think they're just letting that guy do whatever he wants when he's on the fast bike. Do a little tuck here. It is pretty noisy on the freeway on this. We do get up to 6th gear pretty fast, but we're not breaking the speed limit or anything, you know. We're cruising at the speed limit. Effortlessly. I hardly feel, and like there's a slight vibration in the handlebar at 4,000 RPM. But no problem. It feels nice. It feels like a little massage. Not gonna make your hands numb after a while, hopefully. This is a great demo ride. It kind of tells me, you know, how it is to ride this bike. I get to go ride in traffic here. See how that is. There's always traffic here. You get the traffic experience. Not too bad. Not too bad. It's a very comfortable bike to ride. Man, I like it. I like it a whole lot. Like I rode that the Bonneville T120 not too long ago, and man, that thing was all torque. This has got like, you know, a good amount of torque and horsepower, you know, it just goes. And it's so comfortable and smooth. I like it a whole lot. Engine sounds great, exhaust sounds great. I like it. I think it's a winner, you know. It's no funky exhaust touching my foot or anything, you know, like some other bikes. It's comfortable. It's a great bike. It fits me really well, you know. Nice stiff chassis. Nice throttle, nice smooth throttle. So, you know, those are my observations thus far. I really like it. The mirrors, they work really good too. You know, they're kind of big, those big dorky round mirrors, but that's probably what the classic bike had, you know, and it works real good. I can see really good. It is a little jerky in first when you're getting on the throttle, but if you kind of milk that twist throttle a little bit, you know, not too bad. I wish they just let us split the lanes. It's okay. I don't feel comfortable riding a new bike splitting lanes, but I bet you could do it though. It's you know, for honestly to split lanes in SF with this bike, a little bit, it'll be a little bit tough. Like I ride my KLR in SF, and you know, I get by, but barely. You know, there's a lot of times I feel that, you know, in San Francisco when splitting lanes, the cars are so close to each other. I wish I had like a Grom or something, or like a scooter. So wow, there's a big blind spot to my right, I can tell you that now, because there's a Ninja 400 right next to me, but I can't see her. Putting around on the freeway here in traffic, in San Francisco traffic, it's not bad at all. And it's not cooking me or anything. The temp is almost all the way at the top. It's like so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, it's 5 bars, there's like 6 bars, so I got like 5 out of 6 on the coolant scale. It doesn't say how, yeah, it doesn't tell me how hot it is in the engine. If it was one thing, you know, I would have been nice if they add a little more features to the dash, you know, like how to change that traction control. I don't really know how to do that. Clutch is great on this bike, man. It's so light, so light. I feel like I only need like 1 or 2 fingers to move it, you know. It's great in traffic. If it was just some small complaints is I kind of wish it had. Oh, there's also an eco light. It's like a little, kind of like a little triangle thing, and it says eco on it. So that's when you're doing. It's kind of like the eco light on the Yamaha. When you're riding economically, it flashes. I just noticed that right now. It's very small. But I mean, you have to be grateful to Kawasaki. At least they have some digital, you know, graphics on it, you know. So other bikes that would kind of go up against this would be like a Bonneville, yeah, the T100 or maybe the T120. I'm not really sure the horsepower specs on this compared to those bikes. I'll put it down below on subtitle. Bonneville, a CB1000 Honda. I've never ridden one of those though. The Moto Guzzi V7, I think. Yeah, those are bikes that go up against this. Maybe the Street Twin, I guess. So I'm going to tell you now, it's a big bike. So you know, the Triumph bikes they're pretty low. So if you were a smaller person, you might want to look at a Triumph. I'm 5'10", 175 pounds, and I fit. This bike fits me pretty well. Feels a little heavy, but you know, you can get used to it. And if you were probably, you know, 5, maybe down to like 5'6", you might be okay. You know, if you're okay riding a big bike. But it does feel big. It feels big and wide. You know, not the most sporty bike. Gone full circle. So that's I pretty much gave my thoughts on it. I like this bike a whole lot. A lot. I really like it a lot. It's a great bike. It's a little pricey, but I think compared to the other modern retros, it's about aggressively priced. It has an excellent throttle, excellent clutch. You know. One thing it doesn't have over the T120, the Bonneville T120 that I rode a couple weeks ago, is it doesn't have heated grips, and it doesn't have heated grips. That's about it. That one had heated grips, and you could just add heated grips to this, you know. This does have traction control. It does have ABS. So that's it. That's the end of the demo ride. So I hope you guys have enjoyed it. This is great. It's a great bike. It's a little on the big side, but if you're a bigger rider, that's a good thing, you know. There are other modern retro bikes out there that, you know, that are smaller, you know, that have about the same amount of power as this. This has a lot of power. Oh, just the power. The brakes are good. The chassis is good, very good, man. It was so comfortable to ride, you know. So yeah, if you're looking for something like a modern, retro, comfy bike to ride, this is a good one, man. I like it a whole lot. It doesn't have a center stand. I'm surprised. Surprised they didn't put a center stand on this. Yeah, there's no center stand. It's kind of weird. Maybe you can get one. I'm not sure, but would have been nice if they added a center stand. But keeps the weight down, I guess. It's a little big bike. It's a little bit of a big bike to wrestle around, but there we go. I enjoyed it a whole lot. HadesOmega out. I wish you had gotten the corner with it a little more, you know. Can you stand on it? A little bit. You can kind of stand on it. But not really. It's not like the Bonneville. The Bonneville was more comfortable standing. Oh, so it does have adjustable forks in the front. I don't know what kind of adjustment, but adjustable forks. And an interesting thing about the old bike is I'm pretty sure the old bike had twin shocks. It didn't have a monoshock like this. And I don't think it does have an adjustable rear shock for compression and rebound. Not rebound. It has a preload. And it's all the way up right now, so I'll tell you this now. This is at the lowest setting. You can make this bike much taller. So yeah, it is a very tall bike. It barely fits me with the preload all the way up, so. Alright. It's got a nice Kawasaki caliper on it. Water cooled. Look at those beautiful headers. It's a beautiful looking bike. I like it a lot.